thing I know you're doing, me!
I can still see you.
Would you like to see me looking for women?
I would like to see you hunting women. Yeah.
Hide and seek is a classic childhood game that is universally understood, but can have some extremely varying results.
It's initially so impressive. The movement was that of a tiger. But tigers tend to blend in. They don't wear a yellow boiler suit.
So I found the most beloved hiding tasks in all of Taskmaster, and let's see how each group of 5 comedians got on. Spoilers, not well. In spite of other hiding tasks requiring the contestants to do something weird, Series 4 was consistent with the standard game. Alex was in the caravan, he was counting to 100, and the contestants had to hide. With such a wide open task, an entire house plus surrounding garden to hide amongst, some contestants were fodder, while some somehow managed to transcend time.
Sent a photo of me on the beach, and I think maybe of one as me as a baby.
Yeah. That's been a battling, isn't it? You've hidden yourself in time.
Joe and Hugh were the first up, and despite being fairly athletic individuals, they were weirdly both caught in exactly 1 minute and 9 seconds. Hugh accidentally mistook a cameraman for Alex and got found, and then Joe was found hiding in the bushes but refused to give up, thus he began running around like a headless chicken for 2 minutes.
You know the rules of hide and seek, right?
Yeah, but then when he spotted me, I was really frightened. So I wanted to get away from him.
Noel's idea was a well-known strategy in hide and seek. You wait for the seeker to leave where they started, in this case the caravan, and then enter when they left. There was only one problem.
I looked round the corner of the caravan and thought, ooh, that can't be Noel. But then I thought, oh no, that is Noel.
Noel had probably picked the least stealthiest outfit in a bright yellow boiler suit and was found by Alex as soon as he exited. Then on to Lolly and Mel. The woman did the best in this task, with Mel scoring a respectable 2.5 minutes, but she hid in a closet with clothes and Alex just so happened to brush his hands in the wrong place.
There was a drive-by.
Yeah, I found you after 2.5 minutes and then felt embarrassed for 3 days.
But then on to the main event. Lolly. Lolly hid behind a pallet at the back of an old bathroom in the house. In spite of Alex entering the room twice, her spot was so good that she easily secured first place. However, what made her run so memorable was her trolling Alex every step of the way.
Hi, Lolly.
It's quite noisy here.
It doesn't sound noisy. It doesn't sound noisy, Lolly.
Quite a lot of people here.
Put someone else on then, Lolly.
Okay, 1 second. Hello there.
Now on to Series 8, and this is going to be a double whammy of shoutouts due to the series' seeming obsession with hiding-oriented tasks. The first of which actually occurred in the premiere of the series, and still to this day remains one of my favourite tasks that utilise the budget expansion to film contestants across an entire train station and village. The contestants had to run from their bridge and get to Alex on his bridge. Alex would go up and down every 10 seconds while sounding a siren, letting the contestants know when to run and hide, but some performed better than others.
Sean Gibson, I saw you running in front of the main building.
No, it was a fox.
Sharon and Paul got found pretty early, knocking them into the bottom 2 places. Lou and Ian were more successful though. Lou in particular did shockingly well, considering she, for some reason, decided to run around with a bright pink fluorescent bin.
My dad's been in prison at least twice.
Of course he has. Of course he has. You wouldn't be putting a bin on your head if he was a good dad.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, by timing the intervals where Alex jumped up and down, both of them were able to get within a few feet of them before being caught. Then on to Joe. Joe Thomas was a massive dark horse this season. He could completely mess up a task, he could completely smash it, but all we knew was that he was going to be extremely adorable while doing it. Joe plays a lot riskier than the other contestants by ducking right as Alex rose, but it succeeded. As a result, Joe absolutely smashed his attempt and was the only person to actually touch Alex. Even Ian Sterling fell in love with him.
I mean, it was exemplary.
I found that very sexy.
Needless to say, Joe proved to be the superior contestant in this task after charging down Alex. Poor guy. Although, as already said, that was only one of the 2 hide-and-seek tasks. Now on to the other. This took place in episode 6, and by this time the contestants knew everything would come with a caveat. The contestants on this occasion were informed they had to hide themselves in a phone box, and then announce if they had concealed themselves. If the camera could see their person or clothing, then their attempt was null. To hide himself, Joe therefore picks the most well-known solid, wrapping paper. You know, that thin, semi-transparent form of paper. Although, even if the wrapping paper mysteriously adopted the properties of concrete, Alex stated there were still small cracks he could see Joe through.
You could also see you through a crack.
Well, I don't know why any man would say to another man, I can see you through a crack.
Sharon smothered herself in bin bags like a corpse, but in spite of almost suffocating herself, still had hair showing from the back. This was then superseded by Lou, who similarly threw a blanket on top of herself and lay down, plus seeing that built a sofa castle fit for a 6-year-old, and surprisingly also couldn't be seen. Then on to Paul. Paul had a particularly windy day, so his attempts of sellotaping paper to the outside of the phone box were in vain, although this didn't stop Alex Horne from calling him out.
I know you had the windiest day of all, so Alex did just point out to me that you could have sellotaped the paper inside the phone box.
In spite of his initial shortcomings, Paul orders an entire army to hold newspapers and guard the outskirts, potentially making you think he actually cracked the code. So did Paul in actuality ace this task? Well, no. By simply looking in the phone box, you could see a little Paul Sinner curled up in a ball and sitting on the floor. In the end, Ian won the task, but I feel for some contestants this game of hide and seek was more embarrassing than I thought it would be. Now on to Series 9 with the first ever recorded task. The contestants were given 3 aubergines and had to hide them somewhere in the room. Consequently, some ideas ranged from brilliant to David Baddiel.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to eat as much as I can, the rest of it I'm going to put in my pants.
David, as you may understand, was scored the lowest and was found the quickest. After all, he had eaten half a raw aubergine, in spite of acknowledging it was poisonous, stuck an aubergine in the easiest location, and shoved the rest in his pants. Joe, Rose and Katie had good attempts, hiding the aubergine, with even Rose coming up with the smart idea of chopping each aubergine up, giving her more hiding locations. However, through unnatural body language and subconsciously giving away hiding areas, Alex eventually finds all the aubergines in a respectable time. Especially Katie Wicks, because, well, she had hers in a bright yellow helmet.
Trying to hold it very naturally, but actually ended up doing the opposite, and that's what gave it away.
I think aubergines in a helmet's quite common. We've all done that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Now time for Ed. Ed Gamble was such a fun contestant on Taskmaster due to his really competitive nature, but he was always up for a joke. This combined beautifully in this task, as Ed chopped open his aubergines and put them into the most unimaginably difficult places to find, like squishing an entire one into a baby's skull. With Alex making little ground through the task, this allowed Ed to relax and roast him from the sidelines.
Looked at that already.
I don't think it's in this area.
Well, you want to move out of the area then?
Well, I do want to move out of the area. I'm going to move out of the area now. Just because I know you.
That's not an aubergine.
After a painstaking 14 minutes for Alex, he eventually uncovers the last pieces of aubergine, and it's absolutely glorious.
I think I found the 3rd aubergine.
It's amazing how much it compacts down into a baby's head.
But the final series on this list is number 12. But I have an addendum to make. This purposely moving away from contestants while tracking them unknowingly through their cameras, considered hiding.
This is hiding! If I can't see you, it's hiding.
Well, to me, it is considered to be hiding. In episode 1, the contestants had to grab some balls and then strike Alex with it. Alex couldn't run, nor could he leave the ground. We start off with Desiree and Victoria somewhat struggling to get Alex off the bat. It also didn't help Victoria Cora Mitchell is such an innately polite woman who would apologise before even attempting to throw the ball.
I'm not good at throwing. I'm so sorry.
Alan was the older gentleman of the season, so after running after Alex, he stopped off in the kitchen for some sugary biscuits to recoup after catching him. Gus on the other end of the spectrum straight up came off as a serial killer in his scene.
Yeah?
Alex?
Yeah?
Alex?
Yeah?
Hey!
In fact, the majority of his run consisted of first-person camera footage compared to the others.
Gus, it seemed to me that you wanted to murder Alex.
Yeah, I asked somebody as well, have you got any heavier balls than this? Like, I really wanted to do...
You did want to hurt him.
Some substantial damage, yeah.
Then Morgana. Morgana's first minutes in this task is pretty much everything you want from a contestant. She cusses out Alex almost immediately, tries the task for a short time before setting up a bin as a trap for Alex to walk into, allowing for her to strike him down ingeniously. In fact, Greg was so impressed that despite Morgana already getting 5 points because she hit Alex the fastest, she got an additional point.
You would think it was because you set a trap for Alex, which I really enjoyed and thought, I'm going to give her an extra point for that, it's so clever. But it's not, it's because you called Alex a little
This caused Morgana, for the first time in my recollection, to get 6 points on a task where the maximum was only supposed to be 5. If it wasn't for this extra point in the very first episode, Gus would have actually won the series, thus showing how important her hide-and-seek win was. But thanks for watching, check out this video about the most insane twists in Taskmaster for more fun. Nevertheless, have a good day, or peace!